Alright gang, welcome back to our survival challenge here on New Frontier. It's still April day 2. Not a normal thing for me. Normally I do one episode per day or per month depending on how it's set up. We do have 2 days obviously in this series per month, but nonetheless we are still in April day 2. Reason for that is I have a few other things that I want to accomplish before we jump to the next month, which we will be doing in this episode. First off, we're going to sell these planks. These are the leftover planks from the construction project at the log cabin. So we're going to sell these just to get them out of the way. 2, we're going to do my most hated job, which is rolling. We're going to roll that field right here on the other side of the tree line and that one over there. So we're going to roll both of those fields today. Perfect. 16,229. Up to $500,000 again, which is nice to have that little bit of comfort there. So let's go ahead and put this away, and then we're going to pick up the roller, and we're going to get started. Now, seeing all these trees here, I have a feeling that we're going to have a bit of an issue trying to get the roller through here. It's quite wide. We might have to take a different path or a different route to get there. Not exactly sure how I'm going to do it, but we're going to see what happens. We're going to use the John Deere for this. And just a couple of notes. I've kind of had some more thoughts about this series. I'm loving this series, absolutely loving it, having a blast. But I do think we're getting close to the point to end the series here. So what my goal is going to be is, whenever the time comes to harvest our big, massive cornfield here, that is when we are going to end the series. That'll be the last thing we do is go ahead and harvest that field. So right or wrong, that's what I've decided to do. That's what we're going to do. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're all doing well. Things are good here. Things are really good. And do not worry about this series if you really are enjoying the survival series. There will be another survival-esque or a survival series in general that will come out in the near future. Do not worry. What I would like to do, honestly, is get down to a point where we only have maybe 2 series that are running full-time, and then, you know, maybe have a one-off series from time to time. But really, I think I'd like to keep it down to 2 series moving forward. So when this series ends, we'll be running, realistically, we'll be running the one-tile challenge and the investment challenge. When the investment challenge is over, more than likely, we will have a replacement for it be of some sort of a survival challenge, I think. At least that's my initial thought right now. Could change. Things always change, right, as you continue to progress and figure out what you want to do, but that's at least what I'm thinking for now. Right or wrong, that's what I'm thinking. So we will see. Now, many of you who have been around for a long time know, and if you're just new here, well, welcome, first of all. Second of all, I hate rolling. It's my least favorite thing to do. Now, this roller we're utilizing is truly a behemoth of a roller. So it does make short work of these fields. However, I do still hate doing this. I'm just going to tell you right now, it's my least favorite thing in the world to do. I don't know why. I've said that many, many times for those of you who've been around for a long time. I do not know why I don't like rolling, but I do not like rolling. There's just something about it. I think it's because it's such a slow process. But I don't know. I can't stand it. It's my least favorite thing to do in the world. I would rather do potatoes than rolling most of the time. And I'm sure you've heard me say that I don't like doing potatoes, which is weird, right? I love doing, well, I don't know if love's the right word, but I like doing other root crops like carrots and beets and, parsnip, that kind of stuff. That doesn't bother me. I like doing it, and potatoes are very similar. There's just a couple of minor changes to them, and for some reason I just don't like the potatoes. I don't know why. But soon enough, we're going to have to do potatoes at some point too, right? Really happy with how we've progressed on this farm here. We have absolutely 1,000% succeeded in the survival challenge, which is another reason why I think we're at a point where it's time for us to kind of move on and start something new. A couple other things I'd like to do. I'm not sure when this will come to fruition. I'm still kind of working on some kinks and stuff. But I would like to, at some point in the future, start some kind of a loosely based story-ish series. don't expect it to be like a role play type of series or anything like that. Unfortunately, I just don't have the time and the day to be able to put in the effort that it requires to do a series like that right now. But, you know, have something that's loosely based on a story. Maybe from time to time we do have some little bit of a role play involved with it, but not on a daily episode type of situation, or I guess a weekly episode type of situation, if that makes any sense. I don't know if that makes sense or not. Hopefully it does. But just kind of a loosely based story of some sort. So I'm going to kind of work on that a little bit, try to figure out what's the, you know, the best approach to do that, and figure out some kind of a basic story to tell, right? The reason why we're doing what it is we're doing. Just a bit of a change, you know, just a change of, change it up a little bit. We've been doing a lot of challenges, and by a lot of challenges, I mean all we've been doing since we started FS25 was challenges. So just throw in another series that is, you know, less about a challenge and more about a loosely based story of why we're doing something. So if you have any thoughts or ideas around that, let me know down below. I absolutely will incorporate them if it makes sense and they're something that I like. So let me know down below. So we're going to roll the rest of this field here. It's going to take us a while. Even though we have these big massive rollers, it will still take a while. So we're going to roll this field, and then we will jump to May. And in May, I think we will have limited things to do as far as our fields go. We will have to do some second application of fertilizers for this field and that field, and I think one other field might need it as well. So we'll have to do that. We might spend a little bit more time knocking down some more trees over there. But I think that's probably the only major thing I think we have to do. There's going to be something else we're going to do with the yard today. I've kind of talked about what we're going to do with the area where we had our temporary house and our initial spot for our maintenance shed, right? We moved that, got rid of that house, obviously, because our log cabin is now done. I have a plan for that. I have an idea for that, rather. So we'll see if we can get that to come to fruition today as well. So this will be a relatively short one, but let's go ahead and knock this field out real quick, knock a little time lapse out here, get this field done. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the steering assist just to help me out here a little bit. And let's get this done. All right, we are now in May, and one thing we are going to have to do today, gang, is the water buffalo are pretty much on empty as far as food goes. So we're going to have to get them some food today, which means we're going to have to just go around and try to mow up anything that we can, like this area. We've done this before, right? We're just going to have to try to mow up anything we can to be able to provide some food for them for a while until we're able to get, you know, a grass field built out there. Now, a couple other things I did off camera between the last episode and this one that we didn't talk about yet. I solidified more of this track work. We talked about this before, right? I had some track work that we had put up here. It was pretty minuscule. You really couldn't see it much. I've kind of built it up a little bit better, made it look a little bit better, added some rocks into it as well, just trying to kind of, you know, clean that up a little bit more. Now, I did stop here. The original goal, and I still think it's going to be a goal, is for us to knock down a couple of these trees here, extend this track all the way over here to our yard. That's just another way to get to the yard. Not necessarily the fastest way, but it's another way, and it makes it look a little bit more realistic, right? So that's still a goal for us to do, is to get these trees down here and get that track going. I still have this tree here. A bit of a running joke there. It's been there for a while now, which we need to kind of work on getting rid of. And then I said I have an idea for this area here. We're going to clean this up too. This doesn't really look great. We're going to clean this up too, make it look a little bit better. But I do have an idea for here. We will do that later on. Today, we're going to attempt to do the second application of fertilizer on these two fields. I think this one's going to need it as well. I'm not positive on that statement. And then we're going to work on trying to get rid of a lot more of these trees so we can start working towards making that grass field down here that we are going to desperately need for both the sheep, really, and for the water buffalo. So that's kind of the goal here, gang. So that's what we're going to do for the rest of this episode. So let's start off first thing first with, well, I'll just jump into the fit here. And we can hook up to the fertilizer spreader here. And if I look at the map here, yeah, this one doesn't need it the entirely. This one pretty much does for the most part. And this one pretty much does for the most part. So we're just going to probably do all three of them, honestly, the whole way. Now, we are probably going to need a little bit more fertilizer here. But that's okay. We're going to start with the sugarcane field first. I don't feel like I have that on the full setting here. I guess we do have it on the full setting. Huh. Didn't feel like it was on the full setting. Perhaps we need to make an upgrade to that, huh? Perhaps we need to make an upgrade there. Right, where we're going. I mean, it's still relatively good width. It's just not as wide as I originally thought it was. But we haven't done this for a little while, so to be fair. Kind of hard to see as well where I've been versus where I have not been. I already missed a little section there. But anyway, we're going to get this done here. Start working on the other two fields as well. And we'll go from there. As far as the used market go, what's in the used market? Anything? Telehandler, not bad. And a baler, which we don't really need the baler though. So we've got all that new machinery that we have yet to use. It will be used. Because it's going to be a while before that cornfield is ready to harvest, right? We've got seasons on, so it's going to be a while before we harvest that. And the grass is going to grow a lot quicker, right? So we will be utilizing that equipment. Do not worry, I did not just buy it just to put it into the shed. We are going to use it. Okay, I think we got that row pretty much done here. I'm going to go down here and touch this up before I forget about it, then we'll come back on that final pass there. It might need another pass, actually, now that I'm seeing it. I don't know for sure. Kind of having to do a little bit of a weird angle here with the camera, gang. I apologize for that. Not on purpose. It's just kind of hard to see some of these crops, right? If I'm down here, it's really hard to see where I've been versus where I have not been. If you're up here like in this angle, much easier to tell where you've been and where you haven't, right? Alright, so I decided to go ahead and just upgrade it, gang. Why not? Why not? We've got the money. Why not? And it didn't cost us that much to make the upgrade either. As you can tell, we really didn't spend much money at all. And this is going to help us out tremendously. It is a much, much wider width, which is, as far as time goes, just a better overall setup. And we've been kind of trying to do that anyway, right? We've been trying to upgrade all of our equipment. So this just makes the most sense to me, in my eyes. So this is a mod. It is the Lizard Colossus mod. In case you're interested in downloading it. Now, we did just get the standard one. We didn't go into the unrealistic stuff. It's a 42-meter width, which there are other vanilla equipment in the game that have 42-meter width, so we did not go out the box or anything like that. Really, the only way that it becomes unrealistic in this is not even the width, it's just the actual size. It'll hold more fertilizer, lime, whatever it is, right? So for a lime perspective, I think it would make a lot of sense, because lime, you run out of it so quickly. But this is, it's just a generic, standard 10,000 liter width, or not width, capacity, in a 42 meter width. So nothing unrealistic about it, even though it has the option to be unrealistic. I don't know if we're going to need to go down the middle here. I'm going to do it anyway. Money's really not a concern anymore on this series, and that's been the way for quite a while, honestly. We're making money every month because we've got that windmill now, right? So it's providing us with enough money to offset anything. You know, the maintenance fees and all that stuff, right? So okay, good. We can go ahead and start working on the cornfield now. Now, this is the big field. I'm going to turn on the steering assist for this one, just to help myself out here a little bit. All right, we're underway. Let's get this done. All right, that was a quick one. How did we do there, gang? Pretty good. We did well, actually. Everything's good. Yeah, we're all good there. Okay, good. Well, I was going to go the normal way, but I almost should have just taken that little bit of a shortcut there. Oh, well. So let's head around over here. We're going to look at that. I think we might have looked at it in the last episode, and I already forget. We're going to look and see if it's good to sell any of that buffalo mozzarella or anything yet. Because if it is, we will sell it. We've got another pile to close, which we probably will sell today because the price should still be pretty decent. So let me go ahead and back this in. And then we're going to get the mower out. Our newest mower, actually. And we're going to start getting some of that grass mowed up because I looked at the water buffalo off camera, and they are in a lot more dire straits than I had initially anticipated. So much so that they have no more TMR left. All they have is regular grass in there, and that is not the best for them. We do not really want that for them. We want the TMR. So first time in this guy. Going to be exciting to watch this thing take care of the grass for us. Now, it's not going to be the best grass in the world that we're going to be mowing up here, but it'll do the trick. It'll do the trick. And we're going to try to utilize as much of this grass as we possibly can. So we're going to be mowing lots of different areas, really. Instead of it being more of a centralized location, we're just going to be mowing up anything that we possibly can. Go. I'm going to say, why are we not mowing everything? Good deal. Perfect. Now, the biggest problem with this is going to be the windrower. Trying to get the windrower through here, I think we might have to just kind of, I don't know, take a page out of the book that we've been doing in the one-tile challenge, where we don't use a windrower and we just pick it up as it is. Not the most ideal situation, but that's probably what we're going to have to do here. Now, the good thing is, even though this is just, weeded up basic grass, there is a good amount of grass up here that we can mow, right? So as far as taking care of the water buffalo and making sure that they have enough food, we should be fine. We should be fine with what we have here. But realistically, for the series itself and just for the, just being in general, we really want to have a big grass field for them and for the sheep. So that way, we're not just mowing up just basic grass here. We want to be mowing up our own grass that we've put in, better yielding, all that stuff, right? So plenty of grass, though, man. Plenty of grass here. We mowed up on this side as well, if you recall. Long time ago. I'm talking early on this series when we had to. We were baling everything. We were up on that side of the hill mowing. This thing is great. It's got a very, very quick turning radius. I got to get used to it. Not doing the best job there of turning, but it's great, man. It's quick, it's fast, it's efficient. What I would love to see on this, maybe there's a mod for it that I don't know about. I'd love to see a mod that has the ability for this to put it into a windrow for you already. As you know, some mowers, they have, I don't remember what it's actually called. I'm sure somebody will correct me in the comments, but there's some kind of a mechanic where it pushes the grass towards the middle, and then it's got basically like a flap that puts it into a windrow for you. That's what I would like to see off of this, but it's not there clearly. Unless maybe I'm doing something wrong now that I said that. Let me make sure that no. Mode widespreading. Wait a minute, wait. Swath drop. We have been doing it wrong. Well, there you go. How about that? You learned something new today, Z, and you already mowed up pretty much everything you wanted to mow. Whoops. Well, that would have been good if I did that the first time and checked that before we started mowing. Damn. I guess I've never used this machine before. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, and that clearly that's the case now that you've seen what I've just done. But I feel like it should just be automatically set like that. But I guess they don't set it because, you could have it set to move to the left, to the right, down the middle, whatever. But I feel like just drop it down the middle. Why not? Or at least have one of them on, is what I mean by that. Like, don't have it off. Like, off doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but, whatever. What do I know? Well, now that we know this, we don't need the windrower anymore. That can be removed from the equation. I wish I could go back and redo this. Oh well. I figured I might as well just mow this stuff up here too. Why not just mow everything we can possibly mow right now? There's no reason not to, right? They need the grass badly, so let's just get everything we can get for now. That way we don't have to necessarily rush with trying to get the rest of the trees down there, because it's going to take a while, as you've seen many times. I've put that into some form or another of a time lapse of knocking those trees down. It's not the fastest thing in the world. Hopefully I can get through here. I don't know if I can, actually, now that I'm seeing this. I think this is a little bit too... Well, barely. Just barely. That was a tight squeeze. I'm going to turn the map on here. I just want to see the edge of the line here. Try to do the best I can to stay away from going across that line. Go up as far as I can without going across the line, if that makes any sense, like we did back in the day. It's nice to be up here mowing this area up here, actually. It's been a long time. Gonna leave the rest of the grass around the log cabin as is. I like that. I'm gonna leave that as is. We'll just kind of turn around right here and head back. Finish the rest of this up back and forth here, and then we'll go ahead and grab the forage harvester. And hopefully all of that works as I expect, and it'll pick up the grass and shoot it into the trailer itself. So I'll get the rest of this done, and I'll be back with you once we're into the forage harvester. Okay, we are underway, and it is working well, gang. Doing exactly what I wanted to do. Basically another more expensive version of that belt system we were utilizing in the investment challenge. But it works well, and I like it. I like it a lot. I would have loved to have all of this be windrowed up, and we probably can windrow up some of this here in the middle, so I'm going to leave a lot of this not being picked up for right now, because we'll bring the windrower over here and take care of that to make it a little bit easier on ourselves. But there's a good chunk of this that we will not be able to get the windrower through, which is really what we're going to be focusing on here. More specifically, I'm talking about this section here with the trees, and then there's going to be some sections over there as well, which I think will be difficult. But a good thing is a lot of it on the other side of the little creek and the ponds there, a lot of that area is going to be fine because we turned it on, or realized that we could turn on a swath drop at that point, right? So not as big of a deal over there. But having this unrealistic trailer size, trailer capacity, if you will, is really going to help us as well. We will not have to make as many trips back and forth now, which is a good thing. It's a really good thing. Now, when we're done with this, my goal is to implement what I want to do over in the yard area that we talked about. I'm not sure how much time we'll have for knocking down trees over there, but if we don't get it done today, it's not a big deal. We can get it done in the next episode. There's a little bit here that I missed. We're going to try to get that really quick here. And then I think we can head over towards that way and try to pick up some of the other stuff that we know we can't hit with the windrower. Right, let's lift this up. That's going to be good enough for now, at least how I feel. At least that's going to be good enough. So let's check this area here. There's going to be, I think, a little bit here. Yeah, well, we've already got it kind of mostly swathed up here. But this area here between these trees over near the little pond here, that's definitely not going to be able to put a windrower through. But the good thing is most of this over here has already been put into a swath, so it's not too big of a deal. Alright, let's try to windrow this stuff up here a little bit. We're going to head from here over to that way. I've got the forage harvester already prepped, ready to go up on the back side here of our land. Which all of that has already been swathed together, so we don't really need to worry about that area. But over here, we're going to try to clean this up, make it a little bit easier on ourselves, if at all possible. Really, I think more than likely in the next episode, we'll be selling this windrower. I don't think we really need it anymore. The only thing that I could see maybe being beneficial as far as a windrower goes would be maybe a bigger one than this. I don't know if there are any bigger ones than this, but you could try to maybe put more of the swaths that have been made by the mower together to make them less trips you have to do with the forage harvester, but I don't really think that's even honestly worth the time. So I think that probably would just end up being the same amount of time, if not longer, to do. Trying to get that as close as I can to that tree line there, because I do know there was a little bit that got mowed very close to those trees. I probably shouldn't have done that in hindsight. Now the good thing is, which you've been around for a while, you already know, but the good thing is that our productions we're utilizing to make TMR, etc., They are quick. It's a very quick process, so it shouldn't take too long to get the water buffalo back in a good spot. So probably by the next episode, really, they should be fine. Okay, I'm going to lift that up. We're going to head down here to the other end. Clean all this up, and then we can go ahead and jump back into the forage harvester after that point. All right, we are done. I missed a couple little bits here and there, but it really doesn't make that big of a difference. I'm just going to leave them out there. Don't really need that much. All of this grass is going to go in here and turn into silage. Well, I guess I should say some of it. I want to turn some of it into hay, actually. So we have the hay on. We have the silage on, I believe. Well, no, we don't. We need to turn hay on. So let's make some hay as well, because this is going to be needed to distribute to our mixer, right? And our mixer, if I can go to the right space here, has a little bit of hay, but not a ton, right? So we want to put a little bit in there. So we're not going to make a ton of hay out of this, but we're going to make some hay, and we're going to make some silage. And obviously, as you can tell, it is chewing through it at a very, very rapid pace here. So we just have the grass silage, and then obviously the hay on. Nothing else is on. So we'll let it chew through there. It should be fine. It isn't distributing as well, so once it's ready to go, it should start distributing it over here to our TMR. The TMR already has the 12,000 liters of hay in there, so like I said, not a ton of hay we're going to make. We're going to turn it off relatively quickly, but we want to make a little bit more hay because we're going to need it, right? So it'll continue to chew through that, so let's go ahead and put all of this away. And we're actually getting up there in time, so we're going to go ahead and do the last thing I want to do over here in our yard. I said I wanted to do one other thing in the yard, and we're going to do that. Let me quickly look here at the mozzarella and see when the price is best for that, because I always forget about it. Not anywhere soon, so wait until September. Okay, good. So let's put this back, and we'll work on that area I talked about. And there we are, gang. We've got ourselves our new production. It is a gigantic production, by far the biggest one we have on our land so far. And I put it over here in the yard area. We kind of talked about a long time ago when we moved the yard over here that we would put some productions down over here. We've got two technically, if you want to count Grandma's house. We've got the sugar mill here, which is great, doing a really good job. This thing is a behemoth. I mean, this is a massive production. It took up a lot more room than I actually anticipated it doing, but I do like where we placed it at. Now, my goal here is, we kind of talked about earlier on in this episode, you know, this track and figuring out a way to connect it back over here. So what we're going to do, whether it's the next episode or eventually, get rid of these trees like I talked about, right? Or maybe we leave them, who knows, and maybe we just make a track go around them. Either way, we figure out a way to get the track from where it is here, where it stopped, over to here, and we're going to have it connect here. This is an area where you can drop stuff off for this factory. I'm also planning, or at least thinking about, splitting the track, having it go this way, and then one come back behind here, and over here, and maybe through here. I don't know. I just kind of like the idea of having something run underneath here, right? Because that's kind of, you know, what it's for-ish. Man, maybe not. Maybe it's more just like a drop-off area. Please use other door. But anyway, I still think I kind of like that idea, so we might do that, but we'll see. Now, what we're going to do right now is just kind of clean up this area a little bit. I said we were going to... Why do we have dirty details? Why is it thinking there's dirty details there? I mean, they're here, but they're not that close. Anyway, we're going to clean this area up a little bit. We're going to add a little bit more of our asphalt, which I've mentioned many times, I think just looks like dark gravel. So we're just going to kind of clean this up. Hopefully I don't run into the tree too much here. Just try to make it look a little bit better, if you will, in this area. And then I'm going to make the rest of this just this gravel here to kind of match up with that. I'm going to actually turn this into the asphalt underneath here. And I'm just going to leave it there for now as it is. We've got to do a little bit more, you know, touch-up work, clean-up work, if you will, in this area, but you get the point, right? You get what I'm trying to go for here. Yeah, I like that. I think that looks good. I'm going to leave this be for now until we decide how we're going to do this track thing. But I like that. We just got to fix this area here with the gravel. What kind of gravel was that? I don't even remember. Here we go. Was it this one? It was that one. Okay. So let's just try to clean this up a little bit. I'm going to have to probably utilize a little bit more of the land manipulation tool here to try to smoothen some of this out. It's okay, but it's not perfect by any means. It's got a lot of hills and things, little bumps. Okay, yeah, that'll work. Let me see if I can just smooth this out a little bit, because it is kind of bothering me here. I don't know if it's going to let me do a whole lot with that tree there or not. I might have to get rid of that tree, because this pretty big bump right there, as you can see. I don't really like that. I'm either I got to move something around or do something different here. Well, anyway, you get the point. So there it is, gang. Our brand new production. We had a very good day today. We got the rolling done, which I absolutely despise. We got some fertilizer down, new fertilizer spreader, new production. We utilized our new mower. Admittedly, I screwed up at the beginning, but we got it sorted out. Utilized our forage harvester. It's a good day, man. It's a good day. We've got a bunch of TMR going here. Speaking of that, let's go ahead and just turn off the... well, it's already done, so never mind. That's okay. It didn't send that much hay over here, so that's fine. That's fine. So let's go ahead and turn that on. We've got the TMR going already, so we can go ahead and start moving some of this over there. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and do that right now. I'm just going to jump into the semi here. We haven't used this for a while. So we'll move some of that TMR over because like we showed early on, the water buffalo need that pretty badly right now. So let's go ahead and take care of that. At least give them something. It's not a ton, but it should hold them over until the next episode when the rest of this has been processed, right? Very, very happy with how we progressed today. Lots still to do. We've got a kind of an end goal here now, right? With whenever the corn's ready, we've got kind of that end goal. Now, as far as what I'm going to do with that big, massive production, really, we're going to be utilizing it for the corn. What it can do, let me just find it in here. We've got so many different things now, I got to find it. Here it is. It's a canning factory. A massive canning factory. We're going to utilize it mostly to make sweet corn. Now, sweet corn requires 1,000 corn to 750 sweet corn. That's it. Very simple. I'm not sure if we'll utilize or do anything else in here. Probably not, unless we maybe make some flour potentially. But yeah, we're basically spent $300 and some odd thousand just so we can make some sweet corn. And utilize quite a large production to do so. So we'll leave the episode there, gang. I hope you enjoyed it. Smash the like button if you did. Subscribe if you're new. All that stuff helps me out an absolute ton. And I'll see you in the next episode.